All right, we got a reverse banded rack pull sumo deadlift. Sounds complicated. It's fairly simple. It's just a version of accommodating resistance. The hardest part is just setting it up if you don't know how. The mechanics are the same as a normal sumo deadlift. You have your wide stance and you have your toes slightly pulled out, and then your normal mechanics of a deadlift just with a wider stance. Now, the important things for this exercise, because if it's a rack pull, we're gonna be slightly elevated than we normally would. So if you kind of see the plates, you could see that they're off the ground, and that's gonna create more leverage for us in our lift, allowing us to lift a heavier resistance than we normally would, which transfers to our regular sumo deadlift. All right, so when we set this up, the first step is that we have to set the bar height where it should be for us. For you is when you get into your position, knees slightly forward, you're gonna see that this bar is right below my knee. That's where you wanna be. So you're gonna set either you have your pin safety rods or you have these drop-in square ones. Whatever it is, it should be a hard surface. You don't really want to use the straps. They don't work well. I just have them on top. For you, you might have trouble based on what rack you have. I have kind of 2-inch gaps here, so I'm limited on how precise I can get this. So you just want to be as close as you can. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but as long as you're under the knees when you go to set up, you're all good. So once we have the position of the bar set, you're gonna wanna have some weight on this bar, because when we go to set up our bands and put them on, if you don't have enough weight, these bands are helping. So they're gonna lift this thing off, and it's gonna be really hard to get the plates on. So as long as you have that set, you're all good to go. We're then gonna take whatever band peg you have set up, and we're gonna match the bar, which is just gonna be center of rack. Pretty simple. So you're gonna take these, and on this, we're gonna push them inwards toward the inside of the rack. Make sure they're on the matching holes. Got that, then we're gonna take our bands. Everyone's different with their strength. Most of you are gonna be using probably blue bands or green bands in this lift, if you're using the Monster series by Rogue. For the purpose of this, I'm gonna use the lighter band just because it's a lot easier to demonstrate. The heavier the band, the harder to get on. So you're gonna have some weight. You're just gonna take the band, wrap it up over the plate, and then once you have that, lift. You might need a hand just to get the band over, and then we're gonna take it. You're gonna use whatever lines you have to make sure that you're the same distance away from the end of the bar on each side. Once you get that, we have no twists, no turns. It's all even, a straight band. You're gonna wanna grab from the middle here and get as much stretch as you can so that when you're up high, it's not so hard, and you're just gonna create as straight a line as you can. We're gonna go over, same thing, right? We're gonna go around the plate. Then you're going to lift, drag it underneath, use these lines, grab from the middle, band straight, no twists, no bends, wrap it over and match. And that's it. That's the setup. Should be center. Come in, position yourself like you normally would with a sumo deadlift. Drive. And this 135 pounds is a lot easier, and that's the point of the exercise. Pretty simple, just looks complicated.